Wait a minute. Say, I'm holding up the live studio audience.
Hey, we live, by the way.
And we have, me and Teddy can have an announcement today.
Yes. The Maryland, yes.
You live, so the whole world will know your favorite lipstick color.
So right now we're waiting for Rem to
We sorry, y'all. We was having a conversation.
987B55. Girl.
987B55. I'm with you.
Because I'm trying to like get it so I can enlarge it. But it's so darn small. Child. I'm gonna have to ask them when I go because I just be like, I just rebuy my red.
Okay.
And they already know. Say when they look me up, because
when they look me up, I'm in the system.
That famous. They be like, "All right, we got you.
We got you. We got your lipstick ready."
Hey, hey, hey.
Somebody.
I can't. I cannot.
Y'all having too much fun on this Friday night.
So, let's get to it, y'all.
All right, we talking about people colors. Let's go.
To it, but to do it. Not people colors, though.
People colors.
We got this.
So bring us in.
Oh, we was already live.
Yes.
Yeah, I said that. I said that the whole time. I said the whole world about to know what your favorite lipstick color is. Oh my God.
Bring us in, Ned.
All right. Somebody dumb. That's Kevin Hart. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. If you know, you know. Today is my actual only son's real birthday. Real birthday.
Not
one though. He's not one though. He's a grown man. So I just want to say happy birthday to my son first. Happy birthday.
And happy birthday to my cousin, everyone's cousin, Diamond. She's been on
Diamond.
Happy birthday, Diamond.
Now she is everyone's cousin. Happy birthday, Diamond.
Happy birthday.
I am Miss Green Eyes Net. I am one part of the Culture Club Conversations. I am with my beautiful cousins today. I'm so excited because we're doing a title today that all of us can relate to growing up, everybody from family to friends. This is a sensitive topic. Not a lot of people like to discuss it because it's still going on. If you paid attention to our advertisement, shout out to Marilyn Monroe because she is our graphic designer right now at the moment, and she does so amazing.
She's doing amazing.
But so I'll let my cousins introduce themselves before we finish talking. Go ahead, ladies. Go ahead. Let's start with you, Shelly.
Oh, okay. Say I'm Real Estate Michelle, aka Rem on the Culture Club. I am here with my beautiful cousins tonight. One from my dad's side, one from my mom's side. So we can't get no better than that. Mush that together. Woo woo. Hello, welcome everyone.
Welcome. Hey, this is your girl Marilyn Monroe. And of course, I'm with my real cousins, and I mean real with the A. Cousins of the beautiful Green Eyes and the beautiful Rem. So tonight's topic is colorism. Colorism is a thing. It's not just a cool word to talk about the color spectrum. As Green Eyes and I were kind of being earlier about
prism.
Yes, the color prism.
It is a prism though.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Colorism is the practice of treating people differently because of their the lightness or darkness of their skin. And that is definitely a thing. It's being done. I think sometimes involuntarily we could possibly even do that. And I look at some of the past conversations, and I saw one of the conversations that we spoke about a type. Like, what's your type? What's the type of man you normally go for? And we all explain our type. And so with explaining the type, I mentioned I preferred a dark-skinned man. That's colorism.
That's colorism.
That is colorism. We did that.
Yeah. So again, involuntarily, we can actually be practicing colorism, and of course, a lot of times colorism is practiced amongst the African American community, because of course we're not just those of color, but we pretty much discriminate a lot of times amongst each other, and that's the sad part. So let's kick it into gear and talk about, because we're all three different shades in a sense. We're definitely all three different
Could you
shades.
guys tell? Could you tell?
So what's up, Tasha? Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Tasha.
So okay, who would like to explain their
Well,
shade?
I want to start it because of what you said, because when you use the word involuntary, that's really important, because it's not, I don't think it's something that we were taught this from all the way back from slavery, because it was always taught that the lighter skinned people were better because they were the what? The house Negroes. I get that joke all the time from all of my friends. It's funny because it's a joke to us, but it's not funny in real life because it really happened. Like they'll always say, I don't know what you talking about because you be the one in the house. Like, I don't want to hear that because it's really touchy. And my part of the colorism spectrum, you know that I am the mulatto. I have an African American dad and a white mom. So that's also a word that's used for colorism but can be disrespectful. So it's like,
Yeah.
I got it super bad, but a lot of people think I got it super good, but I really don't. So that's, I wanted to start off and touch bases with that because I feel like it's something we were taught. It's not something that and because we were taught it, that's why people are so ignorant today, and that's why we don't like each other. Our own race doesn't like each other because she thinks she's cute because she likes skin. Like what? That ain't even a thing. Like I think I'm cute because I'm cute. Like I know I'm cute. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. But that's things we say to people. So who wants to spin off of that real quick?
I guess I'm up.
Okay, you up. Wow.
So it definitely came from slavery. Definitely came from slavery. And then a lot of the slave masters were having babies with the slaves and creating mulatto kids. And so we all end up all these different shades.
Mm-hmm.
And not to sound discriminatory, not by any means, but you can tell the difference between an African American person and an African. And I say that because most of us are mixed with something.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't have that just African blood. We have a mix of Indian American, white American, because there was so much mixing back then, and then of course along the way. So, and then on the flip side of things, so like back in the 90s, there was like this whole light skin thing that went on.
It was a whole era.
And like a whole era of like light skinned men were in Albie Shore, all those people during that time period with the good hair, quote unquote good hair, because let's just say
what is good
differently
hair?
Textured hair,
Correct.
the curlier, the looser curl hair versus the tighter curled hair, because good hair is definitely in quotes. But as we got closer to the 2000s, that kind of changed, and people were starting to see the darker men as more attractive, more buff, more, they have more of a physique. You would be the outside man carrying all the heavy stuff. The inside Negroes inside, they soft, they beta, but those outside Negroes are
more
dark.
chestnut.
They got the nappier texture hair. And so that was like a more of a strength type of thing, like not a beta male, but more of the alpha male. So that's my little 2 cents for me.
You went from Albie Shore to Morris Chestnut.
Exactly. So for me personally, I have a weird tone, not really weird, but it's a unique tone because my dad is dark, my mom is light. So depending on what time of the year it is, I have this, I got a whole bunch of different tone makeups because I have
Right.
so many different tones and can be so many different tones depending on when it is. Over the summertime, I was dark because I was in the sun so much. But then as time has gone on, I'm back being,
Right.
Ernie,
Like
Ernie
it's
of
the
our
winter
family.
time for me. I look like my mother. In the
Mhm.
summertime, I look like I'm mixed. Like right now, people are like, "What are you mixed with?" So it's like people can't even tell I'm mixed with African American, especially in the wintertime. So I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, Marilyn, let's go.
So, absolutely, I agree with both of you. Colorism is definitely beginning of it was during slavery, and of course, just even being taught often that light is right and like brown is not, or darker is not. Um, Ironically, I'm from a family predominantly lighter people.
Yeah.
I like most of my friends are
Mhm.
light skinned women.
Mhm.
Like it's weird, and I've always pretty much always typically have been the brown one. And my tone is very different as well because I'm like mocha, but then some days I'm like a shiny new penny. Some days like so it depends. And the crazy part, just like Rem said, my mom, if I was to like do a lineup for those who did not know me and say pick and choose my mom, you would never think my mom is my mom. You would think that my mom would be brown skin or dark skinned woman. My mother is a very
High
light,
yellow.
Right,
high
She's
yellow.
high
As,
yellow.
right,
yeah, as we
right,
say in our community, she's a high yellow woman.
right.
My children, for a long time, up until they became like in middle school, thought she was white. That's how light my mom is. And so, yeah, they thought she was a white woman. Like, she was just like white. And my dad is like Wesley Snipes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
Like a
a
Dark
perfect
Wesley
chocolate.
example. Perfect example.
He's like Wesley Snipes. So I have like, a light mom and a dark dad, and I like literally came out like right in the middle. But
Mhm.
I was sharing with Green Eyes today. Um, Over the course of the years, I end up, when I was maybe 24, I fell in love with lighter hair, or having my hair lightened. And
Mm-hmm.
because it also made my complexion extra unique, and it
Mm-hmm.
made me kind of like glow versus dark hair. Dark hair, I always feel like it just makes me look darker, dead, boring. Like Ram, your hair looks great with you. But for me, I would think like, no,
And
not for me.
she's tripping because I seen her with red hair and it's absolutely beautiful. So it's like her mind did that to her to
Yeah,
make
that's how
her,
my
you know
mind
what I
obviously is
mean?
now conditioned. So
Yeah,
now I've always, for like the past 20 some odd years, well,
Mm-hmm.
less than 20 years, because I'm, yeah, still 40, early 40s. But anyway, um, yes, because I know people are always wondering. Yes, she is definitely not. But
hmm
back to the script. I just, always identify myself to look and want lighter hair to make
Right,
my brown more popping.
right,
And so, and I've always gotten like compliments on like, oh, you have a great complexion, you're beautiful. Like, but again, it's just, it's weird because I come from a family full of light people, like lights.
Yeah.
I mean, Rim is a part of my family, of course, it on that particular side, and it's like all light women.
Yeah.
And
hmm
yeah, but I can honestly say I never felt like being a part of like the family. I never felt out of place. Like, oh,
No.
I just never felt like I'm
Because as
like, oh,
kids during the summer we were all dark
we're all
anyway.
dark anyway.
We outside. We
We
all the
outside
same
all
complexion.
day. But so I just, yeah, colorism definitely stemmed from slavery. Um, and it's a learned behavior, a learned discrimination. And it still is so like prevalent to this day, even like with jobs and you know,
Yep.
even dating. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
men have a type. So you know, just that's just my spiel for the beginning part of this conversation of, you know, colorism to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can even bring the kids into the conversation, because my kids are dark, light, dark.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I don't treat them any different than,
Yeah.
but
Right.
my middle one is on the lighter side, but his father's is Wesley Snipes dark, you know.
Right.
So that the whole genetic piece of it too, where I was hinting earlier about how there was so much mixing, because his father has mainly light skinned people on his mom's side. Everybody is light skinned on his mom's side, barely, like two dark skinned people or something like that. And then on my side, you got my mom's side that's strictly light skinned on every angle, on her dad's side, on her mom's side. So instead of him getting the brown skin like the oldest one did, he got the lighter skin. So it's even interesting when you're having children and
Mm-hmm.
they come out with different complexions, and
Mm-hmm.
not for them to to have certain effects of colorism that could take place in certain households. I've seen it where the light skinned kids get preference over the dark skinned kids,
Yeah.
so that's never been an issue in my household with my kids, but I've seen it be an issue. My kids would probably look at me like I've bumped my head, because that's a non-issue here, but it definitely exists in families. So I
Yeah.
think that's
And
important to touch on as well.
and on our side, Rem, our light skinned
Our
family,
light skin side.
our light skin side, also in addition to like being light complected, our that particular side has also light eyes.
Hmm.
Like, you know, a lot of our family members have, you know, gray eyes, light brown eyes. Like that's a trait as well
Yep.
that we have naturally on our family side. So it's like every other person almost
That's
has.
color. That's colorism as well. You
Yes,
know what I
it
mean?
is.
Like my mom got the light eyes,
Yep.
but my aunt got the dark eyes. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, that could
Hey,
be a
Carla.
whole thing as well.
Absolutely. You
Oh,
know, and
you got the light eyes and I didn't.
some
So
people think, you know, even if they are not necessarily treated or treat people a certain way, but some people think that if in fact they have these traits, they think that
mhm,
they should be treated a certain way. They
exactly.
found themselves entitled, like, well,
Yep.
I am, you know, the lighter. I
Hmm.
will say this, and let me just say this, because you know I'm always like, I'm just transparent, and I'm crazy. It's all get out, as my dad says. Um,
Shout
I'm
out
gonna
to
tell you,
Harold.
shout out to my dad. But I'm gonna tell you this.
HD.
I'm gonna tell you this. I can give, and this is, I don't know if this is colorism or not. This may be silly, but I can get like real talk. Like I can run the same race with a light skinned girl. Like
I don't think it's a competition. I
it's
think
not, but
I
I'm just
think
saying,
beauty
like,
is beauty.
absolutely. But I just feel like, again, always being surrounded by a lot of lighter skin, like a
Yeah.
lot of my friends are. Like I've never felt like the ugly duckling, I should
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Like I
Because you're
never felt,
absolutely beautiful. So
yeah,
I don't even
yeah.
see
So
how that
I've
would
never
exist.
felt like, well, I'm brown. I'm a brown girl. But I just love my skin. And I think, you know, it's important that we all, as, you know, African Americans, different shades even, to
Hmm.
embrace your skin and your complexion. Oh, who's that
Absolutely.
Rottweiler mom laughing at me? I'm crazy as all get out. Um,
Absolutely.
but
I'm with
yeah,
you.
so let's see. She coming to the stage.
My bad. I'm doing the stream on my phone, so I'm on call. So it's like, but
The other thing I don't like is when people say, "Oh, she's pretty for a dark skinned girl."
yeah, I
Yes.
Excuse
don't like
me?
that either. I
Yes.
Excuse
don't.
me? I
I don't
know
like.
Yes.
some
But they
absolutely
also, but see,
amazing
I
dark
got the
skinned women.
different
Like,
end of the spectrum. Like when you were saying that before I got my call, I got treated differently because I am the lightest American on my African American side of the family. So it was always like I didn't ask to be this person. I didn't ask to be this light, but I got treated like I thought I was better than everybody else. And I just thought I was your cousin, granddaughter, niece. You know what I mean? I didn't think I was better than anybody ever. And like, I think Rem can relate because you, in that typical side of the family that I'm speaking of, were treated differently. You were also lighter than most of them, but we also grew up differently. So that's a different topic. But
Yeah.
we got
And I
treated
think,
differently. We were definitely, it was colorism on that side of the
and I
family.
think some of it was lower self-esteem
Yeah.
because they didn't have certain, you know,
Because
yeah.
I got it really, really bad. And it was like, I love that side of my family, but I was like, I gravitated more towards my mom's side of the family because my cousins on that side of the family are just like me, different races. They're mixed with something else. So I could
Mhm.
relate a little bit more to them than I could to my
There was
African
there was
American side.
definitely some jealousy and envy
Right. Because
inside of there.
I was telling Marilyn earlier, like I actually wanted to have brown eyes and change my appearance so that people wouldn't automatically assume I'm white. Like that's what I get all the time. Like you're white, you're not black, you're Puerto Rican, you're not black. Like I'm black, like for real. Like like I don't have to make that up. I can tell you whatever I want to, obviously, but I'm black. Like
Mhm.
listen to what I say. I just had a hard time. I had to prove that I was black a lot more than I feel like I should have.
Hmm. So, colorism in today's society. Do you, does either of you believe that certain jobs, resources, even like schooling, or even like medical, uh, like choice, like if it was one versus the other, they'll choose the lighter one, or do you feel like that's really like being still done and a thing still?
I
Yeah,
think it's still a thing to a certain degree. Absolutely, I still
yeah,
think.
people treat me differently when they find out I'm African American. Like I
Mhm.
just said, like I could be getting treated this one way, and then my dad could come around the corner and be like, "Hey," and I'd be like, "Hey, Dad," and they'd be like, "Oh, like Dad, like." Now we looked upon a little differently. Like my children's father is darker than me, so you definitely know he's African American. Sometimes when we're together and out, people treat me differently than they would if I was by myself. So yeah, I see it happen. My son's been pulled over and he is on the darker spectrum of the African American, and he's been pulled over on the street we live on. We live in Baltimore City, and it's because of the color of his skin. If it were me, I wouldn't have got pulled over.
And that's interesting because my brother says the same thing about his wife because he gets pulled over way more frequently than she's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't get pulled over.
And the
And
only thing my son did was make the same U-turn I make to get in
yep.
front of the house. That's it.
Wow.
So they go through it too. And he's like, well,
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a real thing.
you're
Like
white.
and
So you don't get pulled over.
depending and society still hasn't accepted, although you would think we'd be there already, they still haven't accepted biracial people or races being together like that. Some people are still ignorant to the fact they think that it shouldn't be. Like so it's rough.
Yeah.
Like think about your kids when you get into a biracial relationship because we have to pay for it in the long run. Like we got a lot of explaining to do for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Geez, it seems like we would be too far
You
for,
think.
for the the whole biracial,
You
because I mean,
think.
I'll be honest with you, very few times I look at someone and I can't tell whether or not they're biracial. Often I
I
can.
know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Often I can
Yeah.
say you're mixed with
You got some black in
Mhm.
you. Yeah.
yeah. Like I mean,
Yeah.
because it's I'm gonna tell you something. It's gonna come out whether it's in the
Because
hair and the
black is a dominant.
Mhm.
We have
essence.
dominant more than this recessive genes. So you're gonna see the blackness in a person. Like you're gonna see it. You know, I've seen the lightest of people, and I'm like, yeah, they got some like because of the nose shape, because the hair is extra curly, because of the way the face is shaped, because of the way the ears are. Like I don't know if y'all know, but you can tell by people's ears.
Yeah,
You are African American because your ear. Let me put your ear all the way up. So your ear does not connect. So with the African American, I'm gonna show you. A lot of people don't know, and it's a very dominant gene. I don't know if you can see my ear, but your earlobe, you can grab it, correct? Grab your actual
earlobes.
With Caucasians, most of their earlobes grab to their face, so they don't have that lobey part. Yes,
you gonna make me go to my mother's house tomorrow and start tugging on her ears.
No, it's true.
It's true.
I am. Watch. I'm gonna call y'all.
It's typically attached.
It's true. Yes,
it's true.
Check that out. I'm gonna look.
Yes, so they're very dominant. The African American genes are very dominant.
Well, I do know that the white race tends to have a pointier nose. Like my mom's nose is more pointy, and African Americans are more rounded and full and shaped. Yes. So,
and we also, as African Americans, have a pineal gland.
Yes.
You don't see that gland, but it's here. We call it the third eye, and that part of the purpose of the pineal gland. We can go into that a whole other conversation, but I'm just going to give you an example. Is that we have a natural rhythm. We have a natural. We call it soul. We have a natural, and I don't care if you mixed or not. Look at you. You got it, because that's a dominant trait in African Americans.
Yes.
So even if you wanted to be white, sorry.
My cousin said so. Do you hear that, y'all?
You ain't got it, girl, because you got the okay.
Not to keep a beat. Okay.
So that's why you're rarely, if ever, gonna see a mixed person that has no rhythm.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
That's something to definitely look at, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna watch my kids.
Have you either of you now? I know Green Eyes have mentioned it, so you're out the picture, Green Eyes. Rem, have you ever been discriminated against for colorism? Like known it was what it was.
I don't think I've experienced that. I think I've experienced the opposite. Whereas if there was someone that was browner than me, because I have that weird, again, I can't really completely describe my complexion, but I have that I don't know what you want to call it.
You have light eyes too.
Yeah, and it's not as threatening because, you know, darker skin is more threatening. I mean, I got two sons that are dark, and it's absolutely beautiful to me.
Yes,
but it's threatening.
It's almost like it's almost like if aggressive could be a color.
Correct.
Yes, that is very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if aggressive could be a color or problematic could be a color. They assume it's the darker race. It's the darker skin.
Yeah. I've seen that part. Now, you know where we all grew up, predominantly white. Of course, still has black, but predominantly white. Yes. But then as I got older, I left the area for a very long time. And I went to Prince George's in Charles County for 15, 16 years. I was out of our county where we're from. And I saw weird colorism there. So in other words, I've seen where African Americans have taken part of their African American out to be more accepted. So I've encountered where you see how I have my hair, Miss Green Eyes. You too natural. You need to straighten your hair. Don't wear the braids. Don't wear the locks because we want to be accepted in certain arenas. And in order to be like that, we have to have the straight, acceptable hair. I've seen that more there than I've seen in our hometown. Because in our hometown, we're like, oh, well, whatever, we wear But there, because it's been harder because they haven't been groomed around that society as much as we have, it's harder for them to get in there because their speech is African American, the way they act is African American, everything they do is African American. We were more rounded because we had more exposure to other cultures, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen where they want to be accepted in the educated Negro so bad that you can't wear if you want to be accepted. And I've had these conversations and I laugh because I'm like, well, I grew up around white people and I don't have to do that.
Oh,
I don't have to do that. If I want to wear braids, if I want to wear locks, if I want to wear straight, they're like, oh, your hair is so gorgeous.
yes.
We didn't have that problem. So I'm like, I don't know if y'all watching too much, TV or whatever it is y'all watching, but that's not the real reality of the situation. It's if you're able to talk and communicate properly on an educated level, you're not acting foolish and causing commotion and the things that they expect from you. You're not that person.
Yes.
Then you're good. Like you don't have anything to worry about. Like just be a normal human being.
You're right.
And you're good.
Do you feel like we often brown women, do you think we often become overlooked for healthcare?
Absolutely. I think that brown women don't really, no matter what shade you are, overall healthcare is very harder, especially childbearing, because we know statistically African American women are more likely to die in childbirth.
Correct. And have complications during the course of carrying. Yes.
Absolutely.
We're high risk.
Absolutely.
You would think that when you become like over 30, okay, that's when you're high risk. Not for us.
No, you're pretty much high risk. Period. When you decide to have kids, you are high risk.
So yes. So I think they offer a lot of times like rush services or not. They just don't provide us with the information or resources even to really allow us to get the ultimate care that someone of a different skin tone they would offer to them.
Absolutely.
I don't even believe the insurance is a thing over the colorism that they offer. They give us. Yeah. So I think we definitely are discriminated against in the medical arena. So yeah.
Yep.
So we're not going to even stay on here long, but Dr. Sarah L. Webb, she's a doctor, and she had came up with a 10 count of colorism myths. So I just want to do 5 because this is going to be a part 2 conversation, because the wonderful Joy, the coach Young, will be joining us on our next episode of Colorism, and she wants to tell her story. So she wants to tell her story of growing up in the South, facing a lot of colorism. She's a brown skinned woman, very educated, very knowledgeable, resourceful, and those things alone, minus the color of her skin, is very intimidating. So she's like the ultimate. And so she wants to also share her story. So we're going to have a part 2 of the colorism with Joy.
Let's call it down south.
Yes.
A down south version.
The dirty. So do y'all want to start from 1 or 10? You want to start backwards or forwards?
Let's go forwards.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to start with 1?
Look, is it good or bad if you go either way?
Bad, period. Yeah, right? So number 1, myth number 1.
It don't matter which way you go.
Right. I was just second.
So myth number 1 is colorism is a myth. It's not a thing.
It's not a myth.
Colorism
it is a thing.
It's not real.
Yeah.
It's a myth.
That is
We've definitely in the last 35 minutes that it's a thing.
And the second myth is colorism goes both ways. Colorism is systematic. So colorism, it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
It's borderline with racism, but it's you against your own race. So
yeah,
it's borderline.
Yeah,
Myth number 2 is colorism only affects dark-skinned people.
not true.
Mostly
I would say,
dark
I
skinned
would say,
people will
I
feel
would
more
say
out
that,
of place.
I would say that's not true.
I would say not either. I think colorism can affect anyone
I
that's
think
darker than
it can go across the
someone
board.
else. Right.
Yeah.
As long as you're darker than someone else, colorism, you know.
Well,
Or
that's kind
even
of
lighter
hard
than
for
some.
me,
Well,
okay?
Yeah, or even lighter than someone else.
absolutely.
It can go either
Hey,
way.
Coach. Okay,
Hey,
so
coach,
myth,
it's kind of hard for me to
myth.
be darker than anybody, okay?
Well, no, it's possible.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
possible.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Myth 4: colorism only affects African American people.
No.
That's not true.
No, it's not true. So, myth 5, and I'm going to stop at myth 5 because, like I said, part 2 is going to have the rest. And Joy, the coach Young, will be joining us. Myth 5 is colorism is only within the African American race, which is the same thing as 4,
Yes, the same.
but
Right.
it's
I think
basically
we should
saying,
do one more because that's kind of like the
Yeah,
same.
do one
okay.
more.
So 6, white people does not acknowledge colorism.
That's a myth. They do.
Yeah, because it's racism.
Yeah, they do. They did it when in slavery. So the house
Yeah.
Negroes were the light skinned ones and the dark
Yeah.
ones were out
They
working.
definitely knew what they was doing when they
They
separated us
kind of,
back then.
I'm
They
not gonna
turned
say
us
started
against
it,
each
but
other.
definitely instigated.
Right.
Definitely
They,
instigated it. They brought it to the
they
table.
turned us against each other from day one, but our
Absolutely.
society is so crazy that we don't realize that, and we just continue to do what they want us to do. So they already lined us up for failure, and nobody is paying attention.
Yeah.
And I think
So
the shade, I call it Black beauty shades. Like I think the shades are the most beautiful parts of us. One of the most
Right.
beautiful parts of being
That's the
African
most
American.
amazing part about being African American
Mhm.
is what you did. Why, and that's why I wanted to introduce you in the beginning as the graphic artist being funny, because what you did with this ad for this one is amazing. Like if you saw the ad for this episode, the word colorism started off dark and it went all the way to light. So, with that being said, what letter are you guys? You already know I'm the M, so it's no need. What letter did you feel like you related to in the ad?
I didn't get no joke. I didn't get a chance to look at it.
I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you up.
I
Well,
believe
This
you,
week has
Marilyn.
been bananas for me. No lie, like I haven't got a chance to look at so much stuff.
Marilyn,
I
what color?
believe I'm the O, the second O, or the
Okay.
R. It depends because again, my complexion changes.
Okay.
It changes. It varies. Sometimes I have that very much red undertone. Sometimes I have that very much yellow undertone.
Yeah.
Um, so and often so it varies. And it doesn't even require like the seasons. Like how some people say, well, during the winter I'm lighter. I mean, that's but if you also lived in the dark, you'd be lighter too. So it really sometimes
It's
if you really
true.
the weather, the temperature really is not the bottom line of your complexion. So I'm either the second O or the R. So it depends.
Okay.
And
I
honestly,
challenge
like
everybody that's watching us today and everybody that's going to watch the replay. I challenge you to comment what letter of the colorism ad do you feel like you most relate to. I would love to see what you think.
and I'm gonna be honest. Just like when our Caucasian brothers and sisters like going to tan, when I spent a lot of time near the equator this summer, I absolutely loved my complexion. I loved it. It was golden, brown, blonde. I don't know what it was, but I loved it. And I had it all the way through the summer. And
I
I
saw
loved
I thank you for always sharing your videos because we got to see it ourselves too. So if you watched any of your videos, you would see exactly what you're talking about because the sun would hit your natural skin, no makeup, like
I loved it.
And
I
black
loved
is
it.
and African American or American African, and again, like our family is a lot of Native as well. Like we are just so beautiful. Like I mean, I don't care what shade or color.
Even the guys in our family, I'd be like, y'all are so sweet. Like if we had low self-esteem, we should not. Because like even our like older guy cousins or uncles, whatever, they always have told us that we're absolutely beautiful, that the women in our family are so beautiful. So I'm like, we should never have low self-esteem.
And not to mention our African American dads.
Henry said, Black American. It's
our African American dads made sure they were the example to tell us that we were beautiful African American women. And that is very important. Make sure that you let your kids know that their skin tone is not a definition of them. Like growing up, when we grew up, it was a little harder because parents didn't talk about stuff like this. They went to work, they provided, they came home, that was it. But like I'm very vocal with my kids because I actually have one of my daughters is my complexion. You know which one I'm talking about. She is like, Mom, they don't think I'm black. They keep saying that I'm white. And I'm like, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. Like you're going to get that for a while. But when you put your stamp on it, they'll know. It's usually when mommy got to come up there. That's when they know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, but we all, and I definitely tonight, I chose the shade to go with. I don't know if you noticed the brown in our
I see
labels, the brown of our labels. But I just, like I said, brown is so beautiful. Like it really, really is. And it's so important to just embrace yourself. I believe if you love yourself, period, you learn to love yourself. Some people have to learn to love themselves. Like, you start, and then kind of teach yourself to be able to like your imperfections or your difference, you being different, to be comfortable, to be able to handle tough battles of discrimination, or, as we like to call out of other people saying, oh, you hating on me. Because we give that to each other. We often, like I said, we often share the discrimination and the hate amongst one another. And that's just the disappointing part of it all. So if you're on this live tonight, we really, really appreciate you for tuning in. And like I said, this is a part 1. It'll be a part 2 and maybe even a part 3. I think more people should get involved in these type of conversations. That's why we have the Culture Club. We want to have conversations that typically aren't had, or just, you just do it and forget about it and you don't care. But we want to be able to share those conversations with you. And of course, we're the Culture Club cousins. So yeah, and we're
real cousins.
We're cousins. So,
oh, wait a minute, y'all caught me in the beginning. Let me be proper.
We're cousins. We're happy.
We're singing, and we're cousins. Give me a virtual class. Hey.
I think that'll be our new little thing, right?
Yeah.
But, so what else is Tasha is on here, Henry's on here, Joy the coach is on here, Rockwalla Mom is on here, Shay.
Hey Shay.
Shay is in the house. I'm gonna do a quick plug to our Culture Club Confidential on Spotify. This Sunday I will be doing 21 Culture Club questions with the DMV's Hip Hop Award winning artist, K Quick. That is my brother in rap, and he's my brother in rap. Like as soon as I sent him the invite, he was kind enough to say, he said, "Let's go." It was like, it was nothing.
I hope he bring the freestyle Maryland back.
Yeah, out. It was no question. He said, "Let's go." So he and I will be doing 21 questions this Sunday, and it'll be posted on our Spotify page. So
can I do my rap from back in the day?
Yes.
Oh,
you remember that?
You can.
My name is Michelle, and I ring the bell, and I
remember that.
So Miss Marilyn Monroe could not stand. She could not stand my same old rap.
I could not, because I was on to something else.
Right, I was going to say, and we know why.
Can you rap for real? That is my rap for real. What you talking about?
She thought she was rapping with me, and I was like, "Girl, please,
like stop."
Let's stick to dancing, because her and I would dance. We would dance there. We had a dance routine, and I don't know if you remember the dance routine, but I still have that dance routine.
I just remember you would be in the front of the mirror, and I would be back behind, and we would be all day
You
long.
call it, I call it.
I call it.
Yeah. We was it.
And be sweating up something.
Yes, girl, that was a good workout.
Yes, it was. Hey, listen, Culture Club, y'all need to get workout. Just turn your music on and move your body.
Yes.
We don't do enough of that no more.
We don't. Yeah, that rap from Michelle, the hip hop artist, was like rack. She always did that. So as she was doing it, I don't know if y'all saw my mouth going, because I remember that same rap.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible.
Yeah, I would bring Mocha out right now, but I'm not.
Save it for Spotify.
Okay.
So,
I'm excited. I can't
how
wait
do you ladies want to wrap this up?
I can't wait till you
wrap it up with the rap.
Wrap it up with a rap.
She's always been corny too, y'all.
I mean, did that work? Wrap it up with a rap.
What you know about that?
See?
But as coming up, I was a cocky one. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
I always been a cocky one.
Yes. And you, the cocky one.
And what I do? I said,
pull the Cisco out.
I was like, and what?
We Cisco's. And what Roxy do? Hold up.
Let me.
Now,
Roxy said, excuse me, did you just talk to these girls outside? Okay. Because I want to let you know something.
I try to tell my mom. I try to tell people. My mom she been in the church a long time, but trust and believe, she's still a sister, and she's still from the hood.
Believe it. Look, I didn't believe it. Michelle used to always say that, and I'd be like, "Not my aunt." And I seen it, I was like,
"Yes, and will,
and will."
Shout out to Aunt Noonie.
So
hold on, Marilyn. We gotta do that one more time for the road. What she say?
Did you just address these girls out here? Well, you don't address them. You address me. You address me. You don't address them.
You know, the knock look like, you know, when you looking out your peephole.
And you see that hand.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you something. This is after the conversation of the colorism. So that's a period. We're gonna go ahead and move on. And I know we've mentioned it several times on conversations before, but again, if you know our family, you know we're absolute, like, we could have a show, like an absolute like reality show. But if you know our family, we get it cracking every time. And we will pull up.
Y'all family shut the whole block down on the street, like parties. The whole block.
No, the knock was taking me, girl. I can't.
Not even knock.
That's so silly.
Did you address these girls? Well, don't. I'm an adult. You address them.
I can't.
Yeah, about that. Mr. Rockwalla Mom said I'm weak. Yes. You know Rockwalla Mom. You know what's up. So, anything else y'all have to say?
I think we did wonderful tonight.
No, that's it. Make sure you check us out on Spotify. Make sure you check out Shay and Coco on Cola. Yes. Airs on Thursday nights. We'll share the link with you so you know exactly where to find them. Make sure you go ahead and give the coach a plug real quick.
For what?
For to follow.
Definitely like, subscribe, and follow. If you don't, or first first of all, I know each of these viewers here have more than one Google account or more than one YouTube page. So with that said, you need to go ahead and subscribe with all your pages to our page, and we will return the love always.
Yeah.
But definitely shout out to
that way we can share.
Yes, Cola, the ladies of Cola. They also will be featured on the 21 questions, of course, individually, but 21 questions on Spotify as well as
the coach.
I love saying it. She'll be also featured. Rim will have a feature as well. She's going to answer the 21 questions. Green Eyes will answer the 21 questions. These 21 questions are handpicked to enlighten the culture about you, your business, and just fun questions. They're fun. They're not nothing like really crazy.
Just so if you have a following, the culture gets to know you, your following gets to know you a little better per the culture.
Absolutely. So these are fun, and I think this is kind of a fun way to get to know everyone, especially those who have something to bring to the table. So this is an invite only. So if we do not reach out to you asking you to be a part of 21 questions, I don't want to be mean.
Well, you said bring to the table, so you was already going there. If you don't got it,
okay.
I'll do it. If you don't get an invitation, you not invited. And don't be running around saying that we sent you one when we didn't, because it's an original invitation.
That part. So yeah.
That was perfect.
Oh, I dropped the mic for you.
Well, good night on that. So period. And enjoy the coach. You know, that's how us cancers do. You know, I threw it out there, then I kind of felt like I had to take it back, but Green Eyes brought it home.
The Taurus in me was like, I got it.
Woo, bow. What is that?
Remember that?
Girl.
Color purple.
Dang. I'm getting to her. I'm not doing it. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in and watching us. Always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and follow us so that you can follow everyone that follows the culture.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.
Good night.